What do you do when it's really, the shit has really hit the fan? How do you start rebuilding from that place? One of my frustrations when I found myself in a desperate place and was trying to use personal development to try and build myself up, was that people's idea of rock bottom is very different. You know, as I'd pick up these books, you'd pick up Tony Robbins, and it'd be like, there I was, my third company has collapsed and I was now in my 100 square meter bachelor apartment. Like, that would have been success compared to where I found myself. And I think that's a lot. The assumption is we're further on. The assumption is when we come into personal development and that's true for some people, that we're just trying to find a sort of, where do I go from now? But there's sometimes when, particularly men come in, when they're lost completely. Self-esteem gone, connection nil, sense of direction and purpose none. And it's really at rock bottom. And people don't tend to get to me at that kind of stage, but I know that place very well. And so I think it's really important that if people are searching, that they can find something that is saying, what do you do when it's really, the shit has really hit the fan? How do you start rebuilding from that place? And I'd say it's a staged journey, really. I mean, I think the first stage is to stop, what I call stop bouncing. The problem with hitting bottom is you have to think you've hit the bottom. And then it's like there's a little bit of recovery. If I do this, things are getting better again. So, but I'm still a bit desperate. So I go and I latch onto something else, and I think this is going to be the way. And then that fails, and next thing I hit the bottom again. And so there's this period of bouncing around the bottom. The first thing, there's a saying that if you're digging yourself a hole, the first thing you got to do is stop digging. So that's really that point. It's just stop bouncing. Just stop for a moment. And how to stop is to accept full responsibility for your life. So wherever I am right now, one, there's no point me blaming anyone else. Doesn't change the situation. There's no point me blaming myself. It doesn't blame the situation. And there's no point getting involved in magical thinking and just wishing it was different. It isn't. I am where I am. Whoever's fault that is, don't matter. Whatever caused it, really doesn't matter. What matters is how I get out of it. So accepting that responsibility. Whatever happens now, whatever is to be is up to me, right? I've got to change it. Accepting responsibility is the first step. Beyond that, now you've accepted responsibility, but it's all a mess. So the third thing is to get certain. And what I mean by that is look at your habits. Change the very first things as easy as you can. Start going to bed at the same time every night. Start getting up at the same time every morning. Start eating well and at regular points. Stop the habits that are holding you back and start putting in the habits and the rituals that sustain you. Reach out to someone and get contact every day. What I talk about is if your life is a river, then the banks are what make the river. It's not just the water. Getting certain is about getting those banks. It's about knowing who I am. It's about knowing what I do and when. So I start building a certain view of my life that I can be certain with on a daily basis. And, you don't often want to do that when you're trying to look at rebuilding a better life for yourself. But actually the first stage might be turning your life into Groundhog Day for a while. A good few months of it just being the same most days, regular, nothing unexpected happen, good rhythm, good habits. It's not solving the problem, but it's building a solid foundation that you can work from. I'm certain of how things are happening for me, even if they're not how I want them. I'm certain of what my days and weeks look like. And on that part of the certainty journey is also getting to know yourself. I'm certain about what I don't want anymore in my life. I'm certain about what I want more of, right? So I'm certain of where I am, and I'm certain of where I want to be, and I'm certain of where I don't want to go. So get certain. Once you've got certain, then those habits, those rituals, and any new skills that you have to learn to be able to get towards your certain future that you want for yourself, you've got to start doing them over and over and over and over again, building consistency and building competence. So pick something that you want to do and get really good at it. Dedicating your time to being good at what you want to do and being good at taking care of yourself. Right? That's a pretty good start. If everything's been chaos and mad, you stopped, you've got certain about where you want to go. I'm learning this because it's going to take me forward. I'm going to get really, really good at it. And I'm going to get really, really good at being me and taking care of myself. Get good at this thing called your life. So know what it looks like, then get good at living this thing you call your life, competence. Because when you get those together, then you can start feeling confident, right? I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I'm getting good at that. I can start to be confident. When you're confident again, that's often, if you hit bottom, the thing that's gone. Self-esteem, confidence is gone. And you can do all the affirmations you like. You can get in front of the mirror and tell yourself you're fantastic as much as you like. There's nothing as good as real world feedback. We need feedback. When we start getting competent at something, we start getting positive feedback from ourselves and from other people. So we get more confident. Our self-esteem starts to grow. When that starts to grow, we're happier to take bolder and even not so bolder, but we're happy to start taking steps beyond what we've come to know in our frame of certainty. We can step outside of that, and it's not as risky because we're stepping out with the confidence and the competence. So we start to grow again, we get confident. The main thing that comes with being confident is if I'm now certain, competent and confident of where I'm going and that things will work out for me, I don't start making decisions based on desperation. And one of the things that affects us most, I think, negatively, especially when you're bouncing around at the bottom, is making decisions based on desperation. When we can start making decisions based on confidence that things are going to go all right for me, we tend to start making better quality decisions. And so I would say that's the journey, really. If you're watching this and it feels like you're in crisis, or you've just got out of crisis, or that everything's a shambles around you, you might have to just let it be a bit of a shambles for a while. There ain't a quick fix. But what you got to do is start getting a rhythm to your life that supports you, supports where you want to go in. Get a clear idea of where you want to go. Get a clear idea of what you're going to have to build to make that happen. Start acquiring those skills. Be diligent. Make it a practice. Build your competence. Then start getting confident about the man you are and where you want to go. And from that place, start making better decisions. We have to stop the loop of bad decisions based on desperation. It's a spiral to the bottom. And there's no quick fixes, but you can turn it to an upward going spiral and making better decisions and making better actions. But that comes from a foundation of certainty and competence.
I'm focused. I've been watching for the omens. I've been listening to everything you said. It's been running through my head, locked and loaded. I got the feeling that you know it. Yeah, I've only just begun. I won't stop until it's done, till you're broke.